Hello, how are you? I am back again, and today I want to show you how to spot an authentic Gucci scarf and how to spot a fake Gucci scarf. Also, John has gone out for a walk with Mary, so hopefully this video will be uninterrupted. So first of all, I'm going to show you my Gucci scarf. It's vintage, it's beautiful, I love it, and yeah, we'll take it from there. I've also got a genuine Chanel scarf, and I've got a couple of like fakes, so I can show you the difference that I'm talking about, because sometimes I'm kind of telling you what to look for, but it's quite good to see what the non-authentic version would look like by comparison. So yeah, let's get into it. So here is my Gucci scarf. It is absolutely stunning. It is a gorgeous classic design. They're actually still making versions of this scarf to this day. It's got the Gucci logo here. On the inside of this corner, it's actually got the Gucci silk label still. If yours doesn't have this, please do not worry. It's not a sign that it's not authentic, but a lot of women will take them off, and a lot of women, they'll just fall off. So yeah, don't worry if yours doesn't have this, but the most important thing is that it says it's silk, it says it's made in Italy, and yeah, dry clean only in Gucci. But some of them don't even say the brand name on, they literally just say silk, dry clean only, made in Italy. Yeah, so I just thought I'd show you that. I actually have my Chanel scarf here, and I had a quick look for the label, the silk label that came on this, and it's already come off. So that is proof. Yeah, if yours doesn't have the silk label on, please don't worry. And then a few other markings to show you. In this corner we have the artist name who designed the print, and then in this corner over here we have a little bit of Gucci. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful scarf. And then I'm going to quickly show you my Chanel scarf by comparison. It's this one. It's from, like, I can't remember what it's called, but it was like the art school collection. It was where the graffiti bag came from. It was just a really beautiful collection. I loved it. And then here I have a fake Chanel scarf, which I have done a video about. And then here I have, it is a fake scarf, but I don't actually know who it's meant to be by, but hopefully it will help illustrate some of my points. So the first thing I want to show you is the edges. This is probably the most important thing to look for, but on an official authentic silk scarf you will have a hand rolled edge. This is the #1 thing I look for, but I don't know if you can see, but the edge is not flat, it's actually kind of like a cylinder, and it is, yeah, it's literally rolled. Like when I say it's a hand rolled edge, it is literally, the silk is rolled, and then the stitch is just like probably about every 7 to 8 centimeters, and most of the thread is on the inside of the cylinder, and all you can see is just tiny intricate stitches. The stitches are very close to perfect, but they are not 100% perfect. If you have a look at them, there is like just a tiny little bit of like difference in spacing, but it is pretty perfect. It's just not machine perfect, but it's really beautifully done, and yeah, it's literally rolled in on itself. It is a really, it's quite a skilled job. Not many women can do it. It is a woman that does it traditionally, but not many people do it. It's very skilled. It's very hard to find the people to do it. I think they generally only do it in Italy these days, and this is like the sign of a great scarf. If you see a brand selling scarves for like £250 or £350, and it's not got a hand-rolled edge, honestly, I don't think it's worth the money, because this skill is where a lot of the value of the scarf is. I'll quickly show you my Chanel scarf. This is similar. It's got the hand-rolled edge. I don't know if you can see, just tiny little stitches, just so beautifully done. And then by comparison, this is the machine version. Now, I don't know if you can see, but the stitches are a lot closer together. There's a lot more visible thread, and while they've tried to kind of emulate the rolling, it's just not a roll. Like if you look at the two kind of here, this is quite a thick edge, whereas this one is like a much finer edge. And yeah, it's because they just can't perfect the rolling, yeah, with machine. And so there's a lot more visible thread. It's a lot less neat. It's not as refined. So that is what a machine edge will look like, and this is what a hand rolled edge will look like. And once you're kind of well versed with this technique, you will literally notice the roll as one of the first things that you notice in a designer silk scarf. So that is the first thing I look for. Sorry that is like quite a long description of the process, but I do think it's like so important. Anyway, next I want to show you the silk. So this is actually kind of like quite a crepey silk. It's more of like, I would guess it's from more of a summer collection, even though the colours are quite autumnal, because it is more of a crepey silk, whereas now most brands are making more of a silk twill, which I don't know if you can see, but it's got a bit more of a texture. I'll hold the two side by side. But whereas this is like quite crepey, it's quite a heavy crepe, but it's crepey. This is more of a twill, a bit like Thai silk. So this is more of a Thai silk. This is more of a kind of a crepey silk, but they're both beautiful quality. They're just, some brands traditionally used more of a crepe, but now most brands are using more of a twill, but it doesn't mean that it's not authentic if it is more of a crepe. But it shouldn't look like this. It shouldn't be this kind of like, I don't know, kind of nylon-y, chiffon-y, yeah, just, like it looks like cheap lines. Do you know what I mean? It looks a bit neck curtainy, doesn't feel nice. It's got a bit of a roughness, whereas these are quite smooth. Yeah, it's just, I mean, to be honest, it just looks like nylon. And then with this one is silk, but if you, I don't know if you can see if it's going to pick up on camera, but it's got quite a high sheen, and it's much more lightweight. Like if you look at this, you can almost see through this, whereas you shouldn't be able to see through this. Even though this is a lightweight crepe, it's not see-through, whereas this is almost see-through. So yeah, does that make sense? Anyway, next thing I want to show you, this is just a quick one, and I'm going to show you the Chanel ones to compare. But any branding that is on the scarf, look very closely at the way it's printed. This is the Chanel logo. It is always like this. It is like always spaced like this. This is what the font looks like. This is what the scarf branding should look like, unless it's kind of done a little bit more pictorially. But if you look at this one, this is meant to look like the logo, but you can see that they've added in like, it's just a different font. Like it's a different shaped C. The H has these little flicks on. Like they all have like little flicks on. It's not right spacing. Yeah, it's just not right. But yeah, if the scarf has any kind of like branding on, which is meant to look like the logo, do look at it, because it should be like identical to what it is, unless it's kind of more, I don't know, more of a picture. But yeah, if it's meant to kind of be the actual logo, it should look like the logo. So that's something I want to show you. What else? Oh yeah, intricacy of the print. So this is like a fake silk scarf, and like if you look closely, it's like it's not quite right. There's this weird bluey smudging here. It's like it's not being quite rightly coloured in. There's some weird smudging here. You could kind of like be like, oh, but it's a painterly effect, but it's not. Like it just looks wrong. Like, do you know what I mean? It just looks badly printed. And like here, it's just not quite right. Like the black looks a bit bluey, but like in a kind of like it's faded, smudged kind of way. It's not very intricate. Like it's kind of, the lines are just not that clean and sharp. It just looks quite badly printed. Yeah, it's just badly printed. Whereas if you look at this, it is a much more intricate design. The lines are super sharp. It's tiny, but it's just so neat. There's no like colouring outside the lines. A little bit of a Sex and the City reference for you there. But yeah, it's just beautifully done. Like this is beautifully faded. Everything is just perfect. It's crisp, it's clean. The colours are just gorgeous. This fading detail here is so pretty. Like these tiny flowers are so intricately done. They're just beautiful. And if you compare the two, like this just looks kind of clunky and yeah, clunky, badly printed, badly filled in. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just not well done. Like it's all quite smudgy and the colours are like, I don't know, kind of the black is quite bluey. I don't know, it's not very refined. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this is like refined. So that's something that you want to look at. Oh, sorry, this is quite the video. But next I want to just quickly talk about weight. And this is a harder one to describe. But if I pick up my Chanel scarf, it's made of silk twill and it's actually quite heavy. Like people use silk scarves in the summer to kind of, you know, keep cool, keep the sun off their shoulders. But they also use them in the winter to actually help keep warm, because a genuine, beautifully made silk scarf should actually be quite warm. Like I have lived in really cold houses and worn my silk scarves to help keep me warm in the winter. And similarly, this one by Gucci, it is more of a lightweight, crepey kind of silk, but it's still got good weight. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if I pick up this one, it's like a parachute silk. It's really thin and light. And even though this is a lighter weight silk, it's much heavier. And this Chanel one is also much heavier. So it's very hard to describe on camera. And obviously I can't, like, it's something that you just have to hold. But your scarf should feel like it's got a weight to it. Does that make sense? And then what else? Have we kind of covered it? I think we have. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think we're there. But like, yeah, basically look for any fonts. If they're meant to be the font, then it should be the font. It should have a weight. It should have the hand rolled edges. It should be beautifully printed. And then, yeah, some of them will have the designers put into the silk scarf, like Hermes do this a lot. Obviously, Gucci have done it here. I don't think Chanel generally do it. But, you know, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Don't be put off if it is. Don't worry if there's not a silk tag, because some of them just fall off, some of them are taken off, whatever, that's not a problem. But if there is one, it should be marked as silk and generally made in Italy. And there might be a few more instructions like dry clean only, cool iron only, but, you know, don't worry if it's not there. This is kind of like one of the Gucci logos that they use. It's not like the one that you'll see at the top of the website, but it is a Gucci logo. So just kind of have a close look and like almost Google things that use this logo and just check that you're happy with the spacing, the font, the way it looks. And I'm trying to think what else. That's kind of it. I mean, the first thing I always look for is the hand rolled edges. Then I look for the silk. Then I look for the branding and just check that like it looks like the fonts, looks like it should do. Feel the weight, look at the print quality, and if everything looks how it should, it probably is real. So yeah, I hope that video helps. I have tried my best. And yeah, let me know if you've got any questions, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.